Hi, this is Tattoo Tony playing my theme song. Enjoy.
Hey guys, this is Tattoo Tony, and I wanted to narrate this video for you so you'll understand the significance of this building. I'm going to go into an off-limits area of this building that nobody is actually allowed in. I didn't realize it at the time. This is the former Mineral Springs Hotel located in Alton's old downtown in Illinois. There's a lot of tales connected to this building. There's also a lot of fiction that mixes with the fact. But in any case, there's a lot of this old hotel that still remains. Some of it's missing, and that's disappointing, but there's a lot of cool stuff you can see, including guest rooms that now house shops and restaurants. It once had exquisite tile floors, and there is still the hotel's original safe, which some people say still smells like the lingering aroma of tobacco from the cigars stored by the Mineral Springs tobacco shop. I don't know. I've never had the privilege of being in the safe. The Mineral Springs Hotel opened in 1914, and it was the most spectacular hotel in the Riverbend region. Early advertising boasted that the hotel featured the largest swimming pool in Illinois, and mineral spring cures the biggest table in the city of Alton, said to seat 26 people. The city had never had anything like this, but it had been created by two of the wealthiest and most powerful men in Alton. The hotel was constructed by August and Herman Luer. My barber, who's actually based in this building, says that he's still in contact with the families. He's been barbering in this building for 36 years and gives haunted tours. But in any case, they were successful meat packers who intended to open an ice storage plant on the property in 1909. August Luer was a German immigrant who had started a meat packing plant in Alton in 1881, and he had first come to this country. He lived in St. Louis with his brother, who was a butcher. Concerned about the health of his young wife, Luer set up his own shop in Alton, where he found clean air and the opportunity for new business. Herman joined him here in 1893. The Luers soon began promoting their product around the countryside and posted daily prices for hogs on the corner of their receiving station. Farmers could drive by and stop if they liked the price, or go on to East St. Louis if they didn't, which is now a war zone. But back in the day, that was a grand city too. We need to go exploring there sometime. Chili, ham, sausages produced by the Luers became Alton favorites. They also went on to found Alton's Banking and Trust. This hotel site actually dates back to the 1880s when it was a meat packing company, but in 1910 workmen began drilling a well for an ice making and cold storage facility and discovered a natural spring that was under the ground. The water from the spring had a strong smell. It turned out to be high in sulfur, and legend declared it to have medicinal qualities. He said to have recommended that the Luer brothers build a health spa on the site instead of a building for storing ice. Construction started in 1913 with the building of a water bottling plant in what became the lowest sub-basement of the building, which is about 5 levels below the street. The hotel was built on top of it, layer by layer, opening for business the following June. They finished construction. It was an Italian villa style. I'll have to get you guys more of the outside. I'll post that in the following video, covered in beige stucco with a tile roof. The ornate interior contained terrazzo floors, marble staircases, decorated plaster cornices, and art glass throughout. It was elaborate, luxurious, and an immediate success, especially after 2 mineral pools opened on the lower levels. One of the pools was strictly for men, but the other pool was open to all guests, and a number of receptions and parties were held there. This large pool became the biggest draw for the hotel, and the water was said to have remarkable cures for all sorts of ailments. Water was pumped in the pool from the spring, and it became a popular place for swimming lessons, water polo clubs, and for those seeking healing powers of mineral waters. A man named Doc Furlong also held hydrotherapy baths, and while his methods were questionable, the guests and customers went away pleased. The Thanks to advertising, water from the mineral springs was soon being shipped to customers as far away as Memphis and New Orleans. In 1914, the hotel was bottling and selling more than 100 bottles every day. Consumption of the water increased that year to 350 gallons weekly, and the hotel boasted curative power that equaled water found in Hot Springs, Arkansas. The mineral water was extolled as a cure for headaches, colds, muscle aches, and even as a cure for alcoholism. There was a newspaper article in 1914 that quoted, "I know for a fact that a drink or two of it will, in the course of an hour or two, completely sober the drunkest man you ever saw." People in Alton began pouring into Alton to partake of the healing waters in the hotel. Its grand opening 1914. It was said that at one point the swimming pool attracted over 3,000 people in a season. It was sold in 1926, but continued to thrive for many years. And then at one point, it was once used for an overnight guest and began to be rented to transients on a weekly and even monthly basis. In 1971, the mineral springs finally closed down for good, and it was actually condemned because of its general deterioration. The roof leaked in many spots, ceiling had collapsed. In 1978, it was restored by Roger Schubert, who developed the building as an antique mall featuring shops, offices, restaurants. In the heyday of the Alton district, had a variety of stores, a Chinese restaurant, another eatery. Once it reopened as a hotel again in the 70s, now as an antique mall. I'll tell you, some of the ghost stories come from a woman that committed suicide in one of the rooms upstairs. There's also more to this legend. Maybe I'll cover this in the future. I plan on going on a tour of it. Some of this information I've got to credit a website, Ghost Stories from Haunted Alton. I've got some of this information from them. It was actually hard to find a detailed history. You could see some of the some of the work around the ceiling, some of the flooring, some of the old stuff in this hotel. I wish they would have left as opposed to what's there now. But you saw the safe earlier in the video. There's also some wooden floors here. I believe there's apartments here as well that they rent out. Man, I'd love to live here. There's also a place called the Enos Sanitarium in Alton, which I may tour sometime and make a video of for you guys, which has, I believe, underground railroad tunnels underneath it, and they rent that out and lease spaces out as well as apartments there. Anyways, let's see if I can find some more information for you guys. Also, I wanted to let you know, you want to keep watching this video because I'm getting ready to go down some stairs here. Most of the good stuff is blocked off, and I was later informed that if you pay $35 to go on a haunted tour of Alton, you get to see the main pool. You get to see some of the rooms upstairs, one of them where a lady committed suicide, and you get to hear all the stories. They have a seance. They take you in the tunnels under the Enos Sanitarium, which I mentioned and I'll probably do a video on. And sorry for talking so fast. I've never narrated a video before. But anyways, they take you in some other buildings and also talk about the history on the street from the outside of some other buildings. As I was wandering around this building, I noticed that everywhere I wanted to go was blocked off. However, I found some stairs that you'll see coming up here shortly that went downstairs, and it didn't say don't go down here, blocked off, restricted. Here I go down the stairs. Right there was an old commercial sewing machine. I think it's an old Singer, and it's on a table with a pretty big motor and maybe a foot control underneath. And I thought, man, I've hit the jackpot. I ended up somewhere cool in this building. I'm gonna turn around and take a look, and then I'm going to go through a doorway. This doorway is like a big dark room, and I've edited the video. Here it is. I turn around, there's an old door. I love that door. It's kind of grimy, and it's white and it's red, and my video's freezing now. So I'm looking in this room. This part of the video has been doctored a little bit. I added some brightness and gamma to it so that you can see better inside this room, because I didn't have an adequate flashlight. I had a light but I didn't have a big spotlight or anything. This is actually the smaller pool that may have been men only. I'm not sure. This is a smaller pool, though. This is one of the mineral spring pools. The reason I know that is because I talked to my barber. I didn't tell him I went down here, and like I said, it wasn't marked that I couldn't be. But if you look on the sides of this whole room, you'll see a ledge. I don't know how clearly you can see it, but there's a few foot ledge. And then if you look off to the other side, see those doorways where there's wood and there's studs? Those used to be openings, okay? So there used to be probably somewhere to sit or, whatever. And you can see that's a pool. And it goes from being a little bit less shallow to deeper from the end I was on out, okay? And there's a ledge going all the way around it. So this is the pool that you're not allowed to see anymore. My barber told me that the reason you can't see it anymore is the city's deemed the room unsafe, and plaster falls from the ceiling occasionally, and they just don't want them taking people to tour that room. So I felt kind of lucky that I got down here unnoticed and took a video of this room. I'd like to find a way to get into the part of this building that still exists, that was part of the meat packing, or meat, the killing floor, I guess, way down at the bottom. He told me that there's big long wooden boards, rafters attached to the ceiling with gaps in them for hooks. Now I'm going to come back and show you the original clip here in a second of this room, one of the old mineral spring pools. I just wanted to show you what it actually looked like on video and how dark it was before I doctored it. It's amazing that I can do that, and you can see across the room and see it better. This is a better quality, you can see it better, but on the other one you can see across the room and see into the shadows. In any case, one of the ghosts I'll tell you about is the Jasmine Lady. Accounts say that she haunted a part of the hotel for years. There is a staircase located near the former lobby. According to a hotel story, the lady was once a guest at the hotel who had come here to take in the healing waters. While she was here, she became romantically involved with another guest and started an affair with him. One evening, her husband was away. She took the other man to her room with disastrous results. Her husband returned, caught the adulterous couple, and in the act, he was enraged, and of course there's a violent encounter. She ran away from him, started down the steps, and what remains is a mystery. They don't know if she tripped or she was thrown. Angry spouse pushed her. She fell, broke her neck, and was killed instantly. Her despondent husband returned to the upstairs room, and he committed suicide. But history doesn't bear out the truth of this story. But there was something resembling this incident that was true and reported on in 1925. A female guest did fall to her death on the staircase. It was ruled an accident. There was no evidence of foul play involved. Her husband did not return to the room and take his own life. There's some other stuff, like I said, I'll have to go over it, or what I'd like you to do maybe too is you could go to Ghost Stories from Haunted Alton, type in the Mineral Springs Hotel. You can see some pictures and you can read all the stories for yourself. If you come and visit Alton, go on one of the tours, whether you believe in ghosts or not, because Alton is full of cool historic buildings from the 1800s. If you like seeing different architecture, Alton's full of buildings, from mid-1800s, maybe earlier, built all the way into maybe the 50s and 60s. Most of the stuff's older, but there's all different styles of homes all over Alton, all mixed together at different ages. Most of the tours are haunted tours, but the thing about the haunted tours is they give you access to places and buildings. Some buildings that you can't even get in, they take you in and tour, and they get you to places that you're not able to access, and it might seem kind of steep. I don't know, the prices range. This one's like $35. I've lived here for a long time. I've never taken one. I know that's not a good endorsement, but I certainly do plan on taking one. I'm kind of walking around this area here. I believe this was by some of the apartments, or if I missed that, it was earlier. If you saw some like numbered doors, I really want to go up there. They take you up there on the tour, and there's some rooms, and some of the supposed hauntings happened up there. But in any case, Tattoo Tony Alton, thanks for watching. Please subscribe.